financial problems, elder law, criminal law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by THAV GROSS. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Welcome to this segment of Law and Reality. Today's topic is, the bills have arrived. What to do? Brian Small, good morning.
Good morning, Ken. And there's so much to talk about when it comes to Christmas bills that are now in your mailbox and the fact that credit card debt is out of control.
Which means we're probably not going to hear from anybody else the rest of the day. But I still want to say good morning. Jeff Linden, good morning.
Good morning, Ken.
Jeffrey Kirshner, good morning.
You know what? Good morning. We pay the bills, and 30 days later, somehow they magically come back.
Not with Brian. Not if Brian has anything to say with it. Pat Jim Simasco, how are you?
I'm great. Great to be here.
All right, so it's a new year. It's January. We had holidays.
Everybody's
great.
Everybody's full of hope.
Presents,
for the new year, you
family,
made all your
joy, food, and rest, and now here we are. We're 10 pounds heavier.
You've got all your resolutions to break?
It's
New Year's
cold
resolution?
outside. Half of the resolutions have been broken.
right. Already, people aren't going to the gym.
And the bills have come, and they are now due. Dun, 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 dun.
Black
If you
Friday seemed
overspent-
so fun at the time.
Yes.
It did, didn't it?
So, I want to keep it in perspective. Go back to what I consider the home plate, the home page, home base, home plate, baseball. It's coming in the spring. You still want the 3-point retirement plan. Own your home free and clear. Have zero debt. Have some cash in the bank. So the question is, how do we get there? Because here we are.
Well, before we talk about
Here we are.
individuals and here we are, let's talk about what's actually going on in the credit card world. So we don't have the statistics yet for the end of the fourth quarter, but we can tell you what happened at the end of the third quarter last year. And then end of third quarter 2024, we were up to $1.17 trillion worth of credit card debt held in the United States. 37% of all credit card holders in the United States have maxed out or nearly maxed out their credit cards.
Wow.
The increase in the credit card debt in that third quarter was $24 billion. And we had increased 8 out of the last 10 quarters, with the other 2 quarters where there were no increases being flat. We are
Serious situation.
in a serious situation.
Where'd you get all this information? Or is this just something that you track on a day-to-day basis, and we're going to start calling you Mr. Wizard? Anybody remember Mr. Wizard?
We're all
If you're a
younger than
little
you.
older, you would remember Mr. Wizard.
I'm just
No,
debating.
I got it
this-
from different,
Hopefully somebody out there remembers Mr. Wizard.
different financial websites provided that information.
So, do you think the increase is driven more by purchasing or high interest rates over the last several years?
I think that it's a combination of inflation that was out of control. And while people are looking and saying, oh, the inflation's down to 2% or in the twos, you forget that everything, eggs used to cost 70 or
Right.
$1 a
Yeah, you
dozen,
don't get back-
and now they're
Prices don't go back down.
right.
You don't
Now
go-
they're $3 a
don't go
dozen.
They
down.
just grow slowly.
Car payments used to be $400 a month, and now they're $800 a month.
Yeah.
And wages, while they went up, actually have not gone up consistent with the amount of inflation. So it costs you more money to do the same thing that you were doing 5 years ago.
All right, let me ask you a question. Of the statistics you threw out to us, which one do you think I find the most shocking?
The
$64 question.
Actually, I don't think you find any of them shocking because we've been doing this show for so long that
Totally wrong. You get nothing, nothing, to use your favorite show.
okay.
I'm
The
gonna go with
37%
Max credit card.
max credit cards, to me, is shocking. My eyebrows popped when you said that. That's a crisis.
Brian,
Because
sorry.
Go ahead.
Brian, just out of curiosity, so you say 37% maxed out. Are credit cards still fairly easy to obtain? People with poor credit scores still easy to obtain
Oh yeah.
credit cards?
Yes, because why wouldn't a bank lend you money at 30% interest?
so you can afford a lot of losses.
I
at
mean,
30%.
So they're feeding the beast, and
Except
essentially.
if 37% are maxed out, are we going to see a return to what we saw during the financial crisis? Go back 10 years,
15 years.
15 years. What happened when people got maxed out was first of all, when you're maxed out, what's the point in paying the credit card? Because you have
just
no,
get more credit cards.
Yeah. If you're maxed out, that means
Your
your credit
utilization
score
is
is going
gone.
to sink into the 6s and the low 6s, and the credit card companies check your credit report every 30 to 60 days, and if they see you maxing out, other ones move fast to cut your available credit. If all of a sudden you're maxed out on your Bank of America, you're going to go use your American Express, thinking in the last month's statement it said you had $5,800 of available credit, and you go to submit the card, and they're going to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir, you've been declined."
You see,
and you go, "I can't be declined. I got $5,800 available credit." And then you pick up the phone. This is what happened in 2010. You pick up the phone and you call, and they say, "Well, we've reevaluated your credit, and based upon your availability, we value you as a customer, but we've trimmed your available credit. You now have available credit. You have $300 more than your current balance. Feel free to use it." And then you slam down the phone and you say, "Blankety blank, that blankety blank company, I've been paying my bill with them for 48 years, and this is what they do to me." That's what's coming.
Yeah, it
Because
is.
that's
And-
what we saw in 2012.
And it's not
gonna happen.
it's not just credit cards. It's car loans. It's HELOCs. It's mortgages. All these rates are up, and people are trying to figure out how to afford to stay in their home, no less pay their credit card bills.
I got to double check your 37%. If I find out that 37% is only 32%, you are in big trouble. We'll take a break. We'll be back after the break.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV Gross.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV Gross today, 888-235-HELP.
You know, Dad always asked that we look after Mom when he passed away.
I know, but she insisted on moving down to the Villages, and now she has that new boyfriend, and I am worried. Maybe it's time to just call Samasco Law.
Take the stress out of your family's future. Reach out to Samasco Law and set a course through life's difficult times. Samasco Law, protecting what means most because that's what we do.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirschner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
All right, we're back. Did you want to say something?
I just said, yeah, it's from bankrate.com. It says that 37% are maxed out or nearly maxed out.
And was that a 2012 article?
No, it's from like the other day.
No, I'm just kidding. All right, so
The other day. And
Hey,
but like
Brian,
I said, I think that's an alarming number.
but Brian, what should the government do? Should the government step in and do something about this?
Well, the government's just going to, if you believe what we've been led to believe, when we add tariffs to all of the products coming into the United States, whether it's even a 10% or 20% tariff, the reality is the price of goods is going to continue to go up, which means that people are going to continue to dip into their credit cards.
Well, will the price of goods go up if people say, okay, I'm not going to buy those goods, I'll buy the American-made goods that don't have the tariffs?
Wait. What makes you think that you're not going to see profiteering from American companies who say, if the Chinese good that's coming in is now going to cost $20 instead of $10 to buy, why shouldn't I charge $19 instead of $20? I'll still get business. I will charge more. Inflation will go up.
Point made.
And people will be.
But if it's a 10% tariff, is it going to go from $10 to $20?
Well, but he's talking about 60% tariffs on certain things.
All right, so that could be a problem, but we don't know if that's going to
So
happen.
what should the government do? I don't know that the government
but
should do anything.
I think Jim's question wasn't focused on tariffs. Should the government do something about the way the credit card industry
But they're not
deals
going
with
to.
people?
They're not going to. It's the government.
I mean, it's hard to
Government
tell.
loves banks.
Yeah, well,
It's hard
a
to
simple
tell a
question.
lender.
What's the solution?
So your solution is getting back to the 3-point retirement plan. How do you? And you've got to get yourself out of debt.
I want to give an example.
Way.
I want to give an example just to put some numbers on it. But I want to go back to there is an issue of what interest rates the credit card companies can charge, which is any interest rate they want, because the law is state law does not apply to an interest rate. If I want to loan you money in writing, person to person, 7% is the max. Verbally, 5%. If you're secured by real estate and there's a business purpose affidavit and it's a business entity, I could go up to 24%. But if it's a personal loan, I can't loan you money or borrow money at that rate in the state. But from a credit card company, they can charge me 40% interest.
Legal loan sharking.
Yeah. The argument to stop that would curtail a lot of the problem, but it would greatly reduce the availability of credit because banks would not lend to people if the most they could charge a credit, what they perceive as a credit risk, 12% interest. So then the available credit would go down and consumer spending would go down, and that would cause a massive recession. So it's not a simple solution. But the problem, they let the hen out of the, what's the expression?
Hen out of the hen house?
Yes, whatever it is, a long time ago by making it so that there's no regulation on credit card interest.
I'm not sure that's the actual expression, but it's
So,
close.
what?
Horse out of the barn.
Yeah, I like that one more.
There we go.
So let's say you got credit card balances between $20,000 and $100,000 right now.
Not unusual. The average person walking in to see me is between 25 and 50 every day.
So if you have a minimum monthly payment on $20,000 of credit card debt, it's $500 a month. And $100,000,
actually, I'm going to correct you.
It's $2,500. More than 2.5% now?
It's more than 2.5%.
3%
now. It's
now?
heading towards 3%.
So that would be $600 versus $3,000 on $100,000 of debt. So how do you manage? And the problem is this: if you have available credit, you keep rolling your credit card debt over month to month. You tap your available credit to get cash advances to make the minimum monthly payments. so you stay afloat until you max out the credit cards.
Well, here, give you a statistic. Let's go a year ago versus now. The average person is carrying 5.8% more debt than they were a year ago on their credit cards.
You are just full of numbers without going to a cheat sheet. You don't have.
Always
You're not like
full
a
of-
quarterback where you've got the plays on your wrist. You're amazing.
Today,
This is a 2025 is going to be the year of Brian Small.
there we go. I like that.
So
God help us all.
so what do we?
I thought that's Merry Christmas, everyone.
Right.
I
That's
think
what
you got
said.
it wrong.
Did I say that wrong?
What do we do? What
Okay.
do you do if you've got this $600 to $3,000 a month payment and you haven't tapped out your available credit? Sit tight, keep going with the status quo to tap out your available credit.
Well, that's what
or do you
half the
take
people are
action
gonna
now?
do.
What are the options here?
Well,
It's it. How can I think it comes down to this. How do I manage my MMP, minimum monthly payment? If I can manage it, am I okay? I'll tell you what else I'm worried about. I'm worried about my credit score. I'm Mr. Joe Consumer. And if I can eliminate debt, how do I go about doing it? These are my questions.
so
So if you just pay your minimum monthly payment and you have this much debt and you cut up your cards and you don't use them again, it'll take you what, 38 years to pay off your credit card?
so
I'll be 108.
it's anywhere from
I'm really happy.
12 to 36 years is what I'm seeing on. So when you look at your credit card statement, there's a box on all consumer credit cards. Business credit cards don't have that. But there's a box that says if you pay the minimum monthly payment, it will take you this many years to pay it off. And then it shows you another box that says if you pay this amount per month, it'll take you 3 years to pay it off. The
But
key,
the third box isn't there that says if you make the minimum monthly payment and keep using the credit card,
You'll never
you'll
pay it.
Never.
Right.
That's the box that needs to be there.
Right.
so, but that's reality, is that people, it will never be there. You will always owe the debt unless you do something dramatic. Your opportunity to get rid of the debt may come at a short-term price with a long-term benefit.
What do you mean by a price?
Well, you said you're worried about your credit score. Okay. I'm not worried about your credit score because I know credit scores get better after they've gotten bad. But if you're willing to take a chance and let your credit score go down, we can get rid of the debt.
After the break, explain to me what you mean by down.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirschner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Time for announcements. I want to announce we've opened, THAV GROSS has opened a new office downriver in the Horizon building on Eureka Road. So now we're in Flint, downriver, and also our home office in Bingham Farms. Remember, you can always come in for a free consultation. You can do it by Zoom conference, in the office, any way that works best for you. Just call 888-235-HELP or go to the website, thavgross.com, to sign up. Debt issues, tax issues, estate planning issues, business law issues, elder law issues with Pat or Kelsey, disability issues with Jeff Kirschner. Again, sign up at lawandreality.com or thavgross.com or just call 888-235-HELP. Also, if you go to the website, you'll see there's free reports. Resolving Tax Problems, The Real Solutions by Jeff Linden and myself. Bankruptcy, Is It Right for Me by Brian Small. How to Save Your Home from Foreclosure. Business Formations, Loans and Grants for Small Businesses in Detroit and Michigan. And The Retiree's Guide to Social Security by Pat Samasco. I want to thank our sponsors, THAV Gross, Samasco Law, Kirshner Law. Now back to the show.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV Gross specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
You know, Dad made us promise we would never put him in a nursing home.
I know, but he found that new caregiver on the internet, and I'm getting worried.
Don't worry, honey. I know just how to take care of you.
I'm sure you do.
Maybe it's time to call Samasco Law.
You know, I've heard of them. All my friends on Facebook use them.
Take the stress out of your family's future. Reach out to Samasco Law and set a course through life's difficult times. Samasco Law, protecting what means most because that's what we do.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV Gross.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV Gross today, 888-235-HELP.
So what do you mean by down on the credit card score?
So your credit score, if to many people is a...
But I want you to tell me how to get rid of the debt too, and you only got about 5 minutes, so tell me quickly.
All right, so your credit score is not a badge of self-worth, okay? It's just a number that the credit card companies...
How far will it go down?
Maybe 150, 200 points.
And how long will it take to come back up?
18 to 24 months
What
from the time we get rid of the debt.
Getting rid of the debt.
Get rid of the debt.
All right, so how do we get rid of the debt? So I got this $100,000 of credit card debt. I'm making $150,000 a year. I got 2 kids. I got a mortgage payment. I've struggled with it because, you know, the kids are in dance lessons, horse lessons, golf lessons.
Yeah, we
all
get
that
it.
stuff.
Normal stuff.
I got one kid in college, you know, $3,000 a month. You know, it's like I can't keep pace. So I've tapped out the credit cards. I still have another $50,000 of available credit. Should I just use that?
No.
Why not use it and then come seeing you?
Well, if you do, I'm still going to be able to solve the problem for you.
How are you going to solve the problem?
All right, so we can use a different... We got a bucket of tools, right?
I file bankruptcy?
Maybe. Maybe a Chapter 7. Maybe a Chapter 13. Chapter 13 being
If I file
reorganization.
bankruptcy, will I ever be able to get another credit card?
Yes, absolutely. I have clients who are in Chapter 13. They get credit cards while they're in Chapter 13.
Do I need another credit card?
No, you do not. Cash is king. You should. If you don't have the cash, you're not the king.
I say you can have credit cards. Here's your goal. Credit cards to me now are wonderful. I get points. I get stuff. I use credit card points for gifts for my grandchildren on Amazon. How much do I have in credit card points to use? How much do I want to buy? The little column on the right, pay 0, I'm in. Because I pay them off every month. Now, because I followed the 3-point retirement plan. Back when I was in my 40s, I was this guy. I was the $100,000 king. So how do you get rid of it?
So you look at what your choices are to do it. I mean, everybody's got a different solution. I'm going to say it now because I've said it for years. The problem is individual to the individual. The solution is individual to the individual.
But the problem is not unique.
No. It's which opportunity best suits you. Is it budget management, where we find all the money that you're wasting and help you direct it to get rid of your debt? Is it Chapter 7 bankruptcy, where we just one and done, wipe it out, get you a fresh start? Is it Chapter 13 bankruptcy, where we restructure your debt and repay what you can afford? Or is it debt resolution? We settle your debts for pennies on the dollar. Or even, do we make you totally uncollectible so that you never have to pay the debt and you never worry about paying the debt? opportunity exists. The one thing that we can be sure of is that if you keep doing the same thing over and
Status
over,
quo will not work.
right. I
Because-
believe that's what they call the definition of insanity.
Think about 25% interest as a simple number for your interest, your credit card debt, and $100,000 of credit card debt. You're paying $25,000 a year of juice on the debt
For the privilege of borrowing their
with
money.
after-tax dollars. So if I'm making $150,000, I'm probably in at least a
24.
percent tax bracket. That means to pay that $25,000 worth of juice, I've got to earn $33,000 to pay the taxes to net the $25,000. So if I got to earn $33,000 out of 150, 1/5 of my, more than 20% of my income is just covering the juice. You know what that does? That takes my retirement and throws it out the door, and who catches it? The running catch for the Super Bowl goes to Bank of America. Ba-ba-da-da-ba-ba-ba. They're the ones who get your retirement because you're giving it away to them. You've got to stop that. You've got to break that somehow. It's not necessarily simple, but it can be done.
Absolutely.
And we do it all the time.
And
you need to do it.
the overall picture is what you should be looking at is look at what you're carrying in credit card debt and imagine if anywhere from 6 months to 3 years down the road, that debt's gone, and look at what your cash flow improves. You can put money into your retirement. You can pay for vacations. You live with the ability to, like, if the furnace goes out, you can actually pay
and
get
you're
it
accumulating
fixed.
for retirement.
Yeah.
But little defensive move here. I'm not singling out Bank of America. I'm using them as an example of any credit card company charging 25% interest. So no offense to Bank of America other than the same offense that equally goes towards every other credit card company in America. I don't want Bank of America to feel jilted, and I prefer them not to sue me. But if they do, I'll defend it. That was just my opinion.
Answer your phone. It's Bank of America. They've just reduced your credit.
He doesn't care.
Doesn't care.
They just gave
pays
another
them
credit
off.
card.
Right. I don't actually like their point system. I prefer. I'm more of a Citibank.
So coming
for my points.
So coming into the beginning of this year now, as your bills are staring you in the face, don't utilize the status quo. Don't keep doing the same thing.
Don't pay the minimum monthly payment.
Pick up the phone, come on and see us. Let us help you create a plan of attack to get out of debt so that next Christmas, next January, you don't have those credit card bills.
You're not
coming in.
saying grr on January 12th in the next show. Have a great week. We'll be back next week with Law and Reality.